What's up, YouTube? My name is Kenny J, and this is KennyJTV. In this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons to being an insurance agent. A lot of my videos shed positive light on being in the insurance industry, the greatest industry in all the land, and that is because I am just so in love with this profession. But there also is a downside to everything, not more so a negative, but just something to take in mind when looking and getting into insurance. And today I'm going to name the cons as well as the pros of being an insurance agent. The first pro can also be a con, and that is that you control your salary. The insurance and financial services industry has more millionaires than any industry in the country. So that tells you right there that people are out here hustling, out here getting to the money. So if you are hungry and you have a great game plan on how to take on the insurance industry, you can be very successful. But on the con side of that as well is if you're not a great salesperson, if you're not a people person, your salary will reflect that as well. I've seen people in the insurance industry that were lazy, they're not self-motivated, or they're just a timid salesperson and they don't really like to get in front of people, and they didn't do well in insurance, and now they're in different professions, or even if they are in insurance, they're more so on the underwriting side, not really a client-facing position in insurance. And that is very important when getting into insurance, especially the sales portion, because the salespeople of insurance are the forefront or the front line, and we are the ones that are interacting with these clients. And if you are not a people person, look into other positions or careers within the insurance industry. Another pro that I will name is the freedom that you have with being an insurance agent. I was able to go to the beach and work as a normal insurance agent. I was able to go to Texas and work as an insurance agent. The freedom you have to work wherever, because everything is on the computer, and especially in the times that we're in now, more things are going toward that digital era. And if I need to leave the office early one day, I can leave to go to a doctor's appointment. I can leave to go to a basketball game if I have a nephew or someone that's playing basketball. But you just have that freedom to move as you please to a certain extent. On the captive side, you don't have as much freedom, but if you are with a great agency owner, they will give you that leeway to, if I need to leave early, I understand, as long as your production is up to par. The third pro of being in the insurance industry is the renewals and residuals. And this is also contingent on if you are getting those residuals and renewals. So when I was a captive agent with State Farm, I wasn't getting any renewals or residuals and barely knew what they were. But thankfully, I had mentors that were on the independent side that talked to me about the importance of renewals and residuals. So I get paid up front when I sell a policy, the commission, and then if it's a PNC, so auto home, then I would get those renewals once the policy renews, which is usually the same percentage as when they first sign on for that policy. And then on the life insurance side, you get a hefty commission up front, and the residuals are a lot lower. But as you continue to build on your book of business or your agency, you'll see over time that you don't have to quote unquote work as hard, because you have that cushion that's known as residuals or renewals. And so on top of the new business that you wrote year one, now in year two, you're still writing new business, but you start to get that cash flow of the renewals and residuals. And it's pretty much like, people call it free money, because you're not really working hard to get that money. You just want to maintain those clients, keep a good rapport, and make sure that you service them effectively. The last pro that I will name in insurance, which is one of my favorites is that you're making a difference in people's lives. So you're educating these clients on the different coverages that they need, and then God forbid if an accident does happen or a loss happens, now they are put back in the same position as they were before the loss. And clients are always thankful or calling saying, hey, I really thank you for giving me the correct coverage and not cutting corners, because I've seen where clients from different agencies or different companies have had a loss and now the insurance isn't covering it due to you not having that coverage or you not being informed on what coverage you actually needed. So you're making a difference in people's lives and they really are grateful, and that makes me feel good that I am able to help people while doing my job. Now to the cons. It's all about perspective when looking at the cons. I don't consider them necessarily negative, but it shows you how to move or how to go about in the insurance industry. The first con is chargebacks. So you have that on the PNC side as well as the life side. So essentially a chargeback is when you get paid on that policy, and if they cancel or they lapse or anything of that nature, you now have to pay that money back. And I see that more in my agency on the PNC side. If you get a car insurance policy with me and then you cancel 3 months down the line, I do have to pay a portion of that money back, if not all. On the life insurance side, I don't run into chargebacks because I get paid as they pay, and that's for a very good reason. I think it's better business practice if I do that for my agents as well. It may take you a little longer to get built up, but let's say one of my agents leaves and I can't get a hold of them because one of their previous clients canceled and now they owe money to the agency or the company, and now I have to chase them down. And it's not really good business practice because they may be thinking, hey, you pay me this money, why are you asking for it back? And it turns into a big mess. I've seen agency owners go through that, and it can potentially mess up someone's credit. It can potentially be sent to collections, and that's not good for anyone. So I try to stay away from chargebacks on the life insurance side, but on the PNC side, it does happen, but you just have to prepare for that as well. Another con is that insurance is not an overnight success. You're not going to blow up in 2-3 months and I have made it in the insurance industry. It's a game of slow and steady wins the race, and you have to remain consistent. And as I spoke about earlier, after your first 6 months or your first year, when you see these renewals coming in on top of your new business that you're writing, you'll start to see that profit. I have seen a profit in my first few months as an insurance agency owner, and I'm able to survive. I'm able to live a very comfortable life, and I know the more consistent or the longer that I go in this career, the better my life will get financially. And I'm very grateful that insurance has afforded me this lifestyle, but it's all about being consistent. If you think this is going to happen in 3 or 4 months, you're sadly mistaken and you're in the wrong field. So if you're able to remain consistent, you will be very successful in this industry. Well over half of insurance agents that get into this industry fail within the first year because they aren't consistent. They aren't seeing the numbers that they thought they would see. They've been sold this pipeline dream by some company, and they're saying you can make 6 figures your first year, which is definitely possible. But if you don't make 6 figures, now you're upset and you're discouraged, and you don't want to keep on with that consistency because you're not seeing the results that you thought that you would see. Which goes into my next point, that insurance agents have a high turnover rate due to them not seeing the results they want, or it's not what they thought it would be. And so you just have to be in that small number that's able to succeed, because insurance is not a side gig, it's not a hustle, it's a career. And if you look at it as a career, it will pay you like a career. The last con that I will name for being an insurance agent is about the multi-level marketing, or MLM. Some agencies are so heavy on MLMs, and I would professionally and personally recommend staying away from MLMs because they're more about recruiting than they are selling. And Think about it like this. They recruit Johnny to sell insurance under their MLM. The first few weeks they come and say, Johnny, you have been trained and now we want you to go out to recruit more agents so that you can make more money on top of the commission. And now the next person that Johnny recruits is Sally, and Sally is brand new into insurance and John has only been in a month. Now Sally is looking to her upline for guidance, advice, and mentorship. And her upline is the person that's above her or brought her in, which is John. And John doesn't really know too much more than Sally. And now a month goes by, now Sally has recruited Ruth and the cycle goes on. And that's where people run into the problem of getting life insurance policies that don't best fit their needs because the company is so focused on recruiting rather than tailoring the need to the client. I'm all about listening to the client and training my agents the best way possible because I don't want clients 30 years down the line, let's say I've retired and somebody else is running the business or what have you, and a client is like, I wasn't given the right policy at Remedy due to this. I thought I was getting a permanent policy and it ended in 30 years and renewed at a super high rate. I never want my clients to feel like that. I want to be very integral and honest with them up front and break down what the policy actually means. I see a lot of times where life insurance agents just throw crazy words and numbers out there to the consumer and they're not really understanding what they're buying, and they're not understanding what they are purchasing. They do not see the complete value. When you break it down to the client, they see the value, they are less likely to lapse. And those are my pros and cons of being an insurance agent. It is a great career in my opinion. It's done well for me and many others that I come in contact with. Let me know how your experience is with being an insurance agent, or if you're not in the industry yet, what do you plan to get out of the industry? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for my latest notification. We are dropping a video every week. Again, my name is Kenny J, the insurance guru, and this is KennyJTV.